What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Talk TV. You are watching Real Talk, aka Missy, aka Lady Connect. Today we have a special guest. We have Mind Over Matter TV in the building. Yeah, we're just going to get started. I want to welcome you, welcome. Before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with as many people as you can, and hit the notification for more videos. All right. So, with further ado, Mind Over Matter, can you talk to us and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Real Talk TV, first and foremost, thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate it. It means a lot, and I'm honored to be here just to run my mouth or whatever it may be. Um, a little bit about myself. Um, well, first of all, my name Marwan Tomodachi is a nickname that I got. It's not really my legal name, but other than that, I was born in Washington D.C. and I was raised in Prince George's County, which has just recently been made more famous by Kevin Garnett, who is actually from there as well, who plays on the Brooklyn Nets NBA basketball team. And anything else about myself? I'm the only boy of a family of, I've got two sisters, a younger and an older. So I'd probably be considered a middle child, whatever
Hmm.
that may mean. I was born in November 24. So some people say that's on the cusp of Sagittarius and Scorpio, whatever that means to people to people out there. Um, my parents were divorced when I was 6 years old, so I relate to the many people who grew up without a father in the home or even without any contact with the father for a while. So I can definitely relate to those people here. And I guess I can consider myself a world traveler, someone who loves playing chess. And I like reading and I like occasionally writing here or there. And as you know, I started my YouTube channel doing videos maybe 3, 4 years ago. And I've, among other things, I've covered the Nature Boy scandal before it turned into a whole separate industry with
Absolutely.
and
We're going to
drama and all
save
that.
that. We're going to save that part, that question,
All
diving
right.
into that for a little bit later. Right now,
Okay.
it's all about you.
All right.
Um, so, can you elaborate a little on your expertise of law and what it is that it took for you to get where you are? Because I know we talked behind the scenes and you expressed your expertise, your knowledge, your ability to earn your degree in law. Can you elaborate on that?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. First thing that's important is I saw my mother graduate law school when I was 10 years old. So seeing her graduate, I always connected having that extra degree to being sort of smart. And I never really grew up thinking about being a lawyer. I never dreamed about being a lawyer. I always want, it was sort of a competition, making sure I reached that point where my mother was. So that's one reason why I decided to do that. And this was after I was a corporate salesperson actually for a little bit beforehand, right after college. And then I traveled the world and I came back and went to law school at Rutgers, Newark in New Jersey. And that was very difficult. I mean, it wasn't difficult, but I graduated there almost near 2010. And the difficult part was passing the New York bar exam.
Mm. So you earned your degree in Newark, New Jersey, and then
Yes.
you took the bar exam for New York City.
I took both New Jersey and New York at the same time.
Okay.
3 days of testing. I failed both of them. Oh yeah, I failed both of them. So I decided, you know what? I'm not going to take two next time. I'm going to take one. And then I passed that test. And as soon as I sat down and looked at the test, I knew I was going to pass it. So
Mm,
I'm one of these people who understands that once you put your mind to something, especially if you're studying on your own, which I did the second time, you can master whatever you want just by sitting down, believing in yourself, mind over matter, and that's exactly how I did it.
wow, incredible.
Yeah,
Okay, so you talked to us about, how you got to um the ability to earn your degree, or how you got there, right? What how First of all, how old were you when you earned your degree?
I was probably I don't remember exactly. I was probably in my 30s. I would say 32, 33, something like that.
Mhm. Wow. So this was a little bit later in your educational career.
Right, right. I don't advise it, but yeah, it just so happens I took that a little bit later, and I was a day student, so
Mm,
I wasn't even working at night, which is what my mother was doing. I was a child, and she was taking us to her law degree. I mean, her law school library. She was taking classes at night, and that's the way she graduated. But I took it during the day.
wow. Congratulations. I just want
Oh,
to say.
thank you, thank you.
And so what I guess it would be considered what field, or what emphasis, what is it called? Like particular uh
Right.
you know,
Focus, or I mean,
focus. Thank you.
even in law school, I didn't major in anything. I don't think
Okay.
there's any necessarily a major, but some people might take certain classes to focus on certain things that they're interested in.
Okay.
Um, I wasn't sure what in the world I wanted to do, so when I got out, I had an opportunity to work for a law firm, and I had worked for that law firm during the summer while I was a law student. They usually give you opportunities if you fit, if you made the right grades. Your second summer of law school, you might be able to get a job. So after your third year, when you graduate, you can just roll right into that job. So I had a nice summer gig where I was making a good bit of money, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. There was a lot of, well, actually, I was one of a few black folks there. I was always being confused with the only other black dude there. So I was getting my name called by someone else. And one time we went on a trip to see a baseball game in Boston. And when I got on the bus driver said he looked surprised, like he'd never seen a black dude before. So the bus driver said, "Oh, are you Johnny Cochran or Thurgood Marshall?" And I was like, "Whoa." Long story short, I didn't envision myself there, after I graduated. So I chose not to take that job. After law school, I wanted to see if I wanted to be a prosecutor or a public defender. So what I did right out of law school, I was hired by a black male judge, criminal court, where I was a law clerk, which means we would have all types of cases: gang related violence, murder, rape, child molestation, robbery, kidnapping, carjacking, whatever. And I had to sit there and read both sides of the case, and I had to write the opinion based on established law already in the state or the county. So I was sort of like a judge. I was basically the judge's right hand man because we had to talk about these cases. We had to go over these cases. He had to challenge my opinion and my whole perception as I'm sitting there watching the witness take the stand. I'm sitting there studying the prosecutor, how they cross examine, and I'm speaking with them in the judge's chambers. So that gave me a really intimate insight into what the courtroom drama would be like, hearing from the prosecutors what their lives were like, hearing from the public defenders what their lives were like, And I was like, I didn't want to do either one.
Mm.
So I just ended up doing sort of what I'm still doing now, which is just has nothing to do with going to court. So a lot of people might be like, hey, you ain't going to court. It's more like consulting, it's more like advising corporations on their strategies for approaching litigation. And it's more like, and I'm also sort of more like on my own. So I can, on my own, help people, build up businesses and everything that it takes along those lines. So it's interesting. I mean, while I was in law school, I represented people in court, in housing court, traffic court, so many different cases. They see like hundreds of cases a day. So I was pretty familiar with the courtroom scene, whether it's the city courtroom or the county courtroom. And I've never been in a federal court, but that's pretty much for the most part what I do. More like a legal consultant at this point,
Nice.
and hoping to just get out of that whole business altogether.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and one thing that was cool about law school is because I went abroad. I studied abroad twice in law
Mm-hmm.
school. I studied the law in Japan for one semester, and I toured their prisons, and I met everyone from elected officials to homeless in Japan. And I also went to law school and studied in Egypt, in Cairo, Egypt.
So moving right along, can you tell us about your channel and how it got started?
Mind over Matter TV. Yeah, first of all, a lot of people when they're trying to decide whether or not to do a channel, some people go through a thought process of what they want to do, what it's going to be like. Do they have to look good, and do they have to just be at a desk? So really, my only purpose after being on YouTube just as a watcher of videos, my only purpose for coming on was because I knew that I was going to be entering the voiceover world. I knew that I was going to be using my voice and ultimately, hopefully, getting paid for it. So I literally started practicing speaking without a script. And that was really my only intent for starting my YouTube channel. And
Mm,
I first started it by, I guess, talking about different subjects. And then I bumped into the cult, and I sort of fixated on that a little bit before it became something bigger than what it should be.
right, right. So, is it too soon to ask? Can we get a sample of your voiceover work?
Let's see, like right
Do you have to
here,
take a shot first?
huh?
I said, do you have to take a shot? Unwind a little.
Oh, I was gonna play something that may be on my computer, but I don't have my computer on yet. But something, some sort of sample. Yeah, I would just read something. I'll just read anything,
Okay,
right?
let us hear it.
Let's see. I'll read anything. I'll read the back. I'll read this. Nope, 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 nope. I don't know what that is. A sample. Let me see. Oh yeah, you did say this was going to be edited anyway, right?
Yes.
So let's just see if I can read the back of this tea thing that I have here. Okay, here we go. Turmeric ginger, Indian superfood with powerful curcumin, herbal tea, caffeine free. 1% of our revenue is directed towards the education of our farmers' children in India. Brew one tea bag for 3 to 5 minutes in 200 milliliters of water. Add sweetener as per taste and enjoy.
Yeah.
That's my little bit for right there. And hopefully I'll be on on like Discovery channels, and I'm looking into maybe even doing a podcast or something like that. And yeah, audiobooks occasionally, but so far I've been making money on things like corporate learning type of manuals that people might listen to right before
Hmm.
they start their job. And someone just contacted me for some dubbing work. which is,
Nice.
when you have the foreign films, they want the dubbing to be done in English, so they need someone who speaks pretty much American English. And one
Okay.
reason I'm able to do that a little bit better is because I was in Tokyo before law school teaching English conversation. So I had to really present to Japanese people of ages from 17 to 85. And they could be from poor English to speaking more fluently than your everyday American. So
Mm,
I really had to hit them with a standard kind of English. That's why people might not hear any DC sound in my voice anymore. It's all
right.
gone.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing that you were able to travel, number one,
Mm,
and then take what you've learned through that experience to help you toward, going further and change doing whatever it is that you want to do now, such as the voiceover work.
that's
Wow.
that's right. That's right.
All right. So thank you, thank you. Um, so many of your videos cover controversial topics within the so-called conscious community, right? What drew you to this sector?
Wow. Yeah. Well, first, I'm hoping I'm not limited to a sector, but maybe I guess I am. But I
I
enjoy
don't think so.
I enjoy speaking on anything that I'm sort of interested in, whether it's politics or health related, anything where you actually have to use your individual mind to rise above whatever matter. Now, how did I end up in the conscious section? I don't know. I kind of think we all are conscious, whether we like it or not. There's no one individual who's conscious of everything. But more than that, I guess my position in it is I wanted people to be reminded of, their own mind, their own consciousness, their own strength, because it seems like in the area of spirituality and maybe other areas, we kind of forfeit our own mind and look to someone else. So that's why that cult or carbonation was interesting, not only because they were traveling, which I thought was cool, but I couldn't believe that people were actually joining a cult. And you know what? The whole idea of a cult had never really hit the black community like that. I mean, although Jim Jones had a lot of sort of black folks following, but you've got the internet, this thing is spreading like wildfire, and you start to see more cults and more news of cults where people are giving up their own mind, their own sovereignty, their own spiritual power, which is within. And it's like they're giving it up, like people give up their money in the offering plate or for church every Sunday. They give up their spirit. So I still can't believe it. So I guess my position or my relevancy or my purpose is just to remind people that, all right, your mind has to be the sharpest. Don't worship anybody else, whether it's Jay-Z, Beyonce, or Nature Boy. Like, you really got to get in touch with yourself, because if you don't, other people would take you for several rides, all down, with your good intentions, straight to hell. And so I'm hoping in many different aspects of life, whether it's your health, your finances, your spirituality, that people focus a little bit more on themselves and become a master of themselves before someone else masters yourself.
Is there anything that you have to share to maybe help certain situations either die down or help people make smarter decisions?
One thing I would give a couple of warnings, maybe, because I've seen a lot of different, like you said, people with loose lips, and that tends to
Mhm.
sink many ships, right? Uh, but at the end of the day, you always are going to need some sort of money, to start a lawsuit. You're going to need some sort of funding to really get it off. Because I've seen a lot of instances where there may be defamation going on online, or even online threats, people who are threatening you online or doxing you online. So you want to first and foremost take ownership of your content, and your status and your character, your name online. So if there's anyone who's actually trying to threaten any of those things in a criminal way, then people may, as you have seen, start reaching out to the FBI, or taking that route. But you might want to also be careful not to destroy anyone's image or their brand in undue ways. You don't want to be reckless, and you don't want to lie on anybody's name, because that can also turn around and damage you. And I see a lot of people trying to do that when they come online. They want a name for themselves instead of doing it the long, arduous way of being a content creator from the bottom on your own. Some people try to go attacking people. They want to go pick at the big YouTuber and call them a piece of crap, or curse them out, or call them a fraud. But again, those are big YouTubers who may have some extra money, and they may sue you, or at least threaten you to stop damaging their name. So I would just tell people to try to be careful, protect your name, protect your content. If someone's copying what you're producing, copying whatever, you might want to contact a lawyer if you know any. And but that's pretty much for right now. I mean, YouTube has its own policies that I would advise people to read, because this is not your world. This is not my world. This is not my channel. This is not my space. You are still here being controlled by Babylon in these squares, and you have to go by their rules and their policies. And I would just ask people to be very abreast and aware of those policies and the limitations for what you can do online. But other than that, I guess I don't really have much legal knowledge to share, because that is a whole separate field of law, right? Internet law, and the doxing and the harassing that could happen and that could be punished by law. I have seen instances where people are so silly also with their channels to share information, crimes they committed. So
Oh yeah.
you should know that these courts are out here not only using rap lyrics against certain defendants, they're using some people's Instagram posts or YouTube posts. So you really got to be careful not to snitch on yourself, which I'm seeing is happening so freely and loosely. Again, because people think this is their channel. People think, or maybe they aren't thinking, but they're just talking willy nilly, and they aren't
Mhm.
they aren't thinking ahead. They aren't being more discreet, which is what I think should be the rule and the code as we move forward.
Okay. Okay. All right. So tell me what you have planned for your channel. Like, what are your short and long term goals for your channel? What are you up to for the uh, you know, current, future, or most recent future? Where can we find you? All those wonderful things.
Mind over Matter TV on Instagram. That's pretty much where I am right now. The future for my channel is to continue being great and to continue sharing a very unique perspective, right, of a brother from with my background and my experiences, and my refusal to fall in line with what everybody's doing, right? So when that group The Roots came up with that song in the 90s, never do what they do, what they do, what they do. That's me 100%, to distinguish yourself. So I'll continue to distinguish myself in this space. with the mind over matter theme in mind. I was just watching the Paralympics, and I'm always inspired by other people who are facing all manner of obstacles in their personal lives, their professional lives, getting more inspiration from people like those in the Paralympics. And I was covering, reacting to some of the soft white underbelly videos, which were the videos where people were working out on Figueroa Ave and on the Blade, prostitutes, drug users. But I had to stop doing that, just like I guess I stopped covering carbonation because I don't know, I don't. It wasn't really edifying, I don't like constantly watching people in that sort of self-destructive mode, even though there may be a couple of people who escape. For the most part, people are sort of stagnant or getting worse and worse. So I want to be more about inspiration. I want to be more like of a light. I don't want to be a rumor mill. I don't want to be that type of a TMZ channel. I'm here to, empower people as much as I possibly can, while I handle my own business as well. And as we spoke a little bit, I'm also writing a book that's sort of related to the channel. So I'll be, within the next few weeks, sharing more about this book I wrote. And, I'll keep you in mind as well. And I've got accountability partners to make sure I'm on board. And just spoke with that group today that's helping me with it. And yeah, we're going to move forward. It's mostly written already, and it's about my travels and my education. And it's about, again, your mind going out, doing things that most people aren't doing, to build within yourself someone you've never even met before. So that's what I'll continue to do. Mind over matter, no matter what.
Awesome, awesome. I just want to say really quickly that I want to give you your props because you do have a very unique way of giving information and giving entertainment when you during your content and when you're going live. I love coming to your live.
Oh,
So
thank you.
you are doing a great job. Keep doing it.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you very
yeah,
much. I mean, sometimes I will make jokes. I am a serious person. I can definitely get really serious, and I can also, joke around sometimes when it's called for.
yep.
So thank you very much. I appreciate you coming to the channel, and it reminds me to go ahead and keep on keeping on because, as you know, at any moment you can just say, you know what, why am I doing this, why am I doing this? I'm not out here always monetizing things, and you may want more views or more. I'm not even about any of that right now. I'm just all about building a base of people who are like-minded, a tribe, a family of people who also want to get better and learn more about themselves and how they can grow as well.
That's right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much again. Mind Over Matter, you guys. Mind Over Matter TV on
Thank you.
YouTube and Mind Over Matter TV. I'm sorry, Mind Over Matter
TV.
on TV
Oh
on
yes,
Instagram.
that's
Please
right.
check him out.
That's right.
Go to his platform, subscribe, follow, whatever you got to do. This man is amazing. He's going to grow. Trust me. So
Thank you
thank
so
you
much.
again for coming.
No problem.
You guys, make sure, as always, you like this video, subscribe to my channel, share this video with as many people as you possibly can, and hit the notification so you can get more great interviews with up and coming YouTube channel holders and stars. Thank you.
Thank you. And this is the realest Real Talk TV out here, y'all. You better recognize.
Peace.